think the Republican Party overall is in a very good job narrowing the field down. You're not looking at 13 different candidates. You're really looking at 2 or 3 at this point. By the time it gets to New Hampshire, it's really Nikki Haley versus Donald Trump for the Republican nomination. It's going to be a one-on-one race. So, she's spending the time. When she goes to these town halls, this is what I love. Everyone gives a speech, but she spends a lot of time just taking questions. And when you're super transparent, you're letting folks engage with you and ask those questions. That's how you earn trust. And if there's anything Washington needs right now, it's a little bit of trust because no one's carrying it.
The latest polls, though, show Donald Trump far and away outpacing Nikki Haley. Or anybody else.
Well, it shouldn't be a surprise. The guy is a former president. He was the standard bearer for the party for so long. The fact is, though, for someone in that position to basically have a ceiling of 50%, right? He has a high floor. Well, I'll give him that, maybe about 30, 35%, whatever it is. He's never really going to go below that. But for someone with that background, where half of the party is saying, look, give us anybody else. So Nikki has the best chance of beating Donald Trump in the primary, and far and away the best chance of beating Joe Biden. I think the Wall Street Journal poll had her up 17 points on Biden. The reason that's important is because she carries more seats with her. She carries governors, congressmen, school board seats. Trump, we lose seats with Trump. I remind everyone of 2022. I don't want a repeat of that where the Trump candidates and the red wave just never happened. We have such an opportunity here to get it right.
It's just such a strange conundrum. I think Donald Trump and Joe Biden are the only two who could beat each other potentially.
Yeah, and nobody wants either of them, right? I mean, that would just be the disastrous ticket of America. I still believe that there's a strong chance Joe Biden isn't on the ticket because he pulls so badly against everybody. I mean, Joe Biden is so bad, he's literally losing against Donald Trump now at this point. So I think the Democrats are going to smarten up, and whichever party decides to move on from their presumed candidate first, if the Republicans move on from Trump first, they win. If we don't and the Democrats do it at the convention, they'll win. So we have the opportunity to solidify this thing and get America realizing we don't live in the past, man. We are about the future. We're about moving forward, a next generation of conservative leadership.
The governor of Iowa endorsed Ron DeSantis. Came out early, and that matters because of the caucuses in Iowa, too. She took a lot of flack from Donald Trump. Have you taken flack from Donald Trump for
some nudging here and there, I suppose. I don't really pay attention to the social media stuff. I'm sure as we get closer, it'll get nudgier and nudgier. He with the endorsement coming in, he said, let's do a rally in New Hampshire. He'll come to New Hampshire and do a bunch of his rallies. But this is the problem with Trump. Look, Nikki and I supported Trump in 16. We supported him in 20. But you can't live in the past. And when he comes to New Hampshire now, it's not the rallies of 2016, guys. It's 90 minutes of kind of droning on the legal stuff. He doesn't have the fastball. He doesn't have the energy. I think at one of his last rallies, he's talking about Jesus Christ as Speaker of the House and comparing himself to Nelson Mandela. If he's not on the teleprompter, he goes, it's not the same guy. So thank you for the service. Thank you for the 4 years. Republicans are going to galvanize around, again, that next generation, next opportunity of leadership. So it's kind of weird.
Who do you support if it's Trump versus Biden?
Well, I'm going to support the Republican. I think most of America. I think Trump has a chance of beating Biden. All the polls say that. So I don't think I'm an outlier when I say that we're going to support the Republican ticket. But we don't have to support. We don't have to just settle for Trump. We don't have to settle. Trump's biggest problem is all the distractions, right? These legal distractions are going to go on for years. We know that. Inflation is real. Inflation is crushing families. The border crisis is real. You need a president giving 120% of their time on those issues to get them done, because he didn't get them done the first time. So to have somebody that's constantly worried about courtrooms and legal, whether you agree with that stuff or not, whether you think it was politically driven or not, doesn't matter. That chaos is going to be following him for the next 3 years. So you can't have a president completely distracted when so much is at stake to get stuff done.
As a governor, you've got a front row seat for what's happening in the economy. How is the economy from your perspective?
Well, New Hampshire is crushing it, there's no doubt. But I think the realities of, I don't want to call it a burst or whatever you're going to call it, but there's going to be a significant slowdown. There's no doubt about it. States so far, people don't realize a lot of this ARPA money that's out there, states are still holding on to a lot of it, maybe a third of it. It might have been obligated or allocated, but it was designed to go out through 2026. So this
the money from COVID.
Yeah, the money from COVID, the ARPA money, the infrastructure money, the Inflation Reduction Act, whatever that is. But that's trillions of dollars that's actually still sitting in bank accounts. So that's going to keep flowing into the economy, keeping, I think, inflation